To talk about the things we do every day, our recurring habits or facts that are universally true, we rely on the simple present tense. Nailing this tense comes down to understanding 4 specific sentence structures: positive, negative, interrogative, and WH questions. The easiest place to start is with the subjects I, we, you, and they. We can call this the happy path because the main action verb stays exactly the same. It doesn't change its shape at all. Positive, I wake up at 5 a.m. For negative, drop do not before the verb. I do not wake up at 5 a.m. For interrogative, move do to the front. Do you wake up at 5 a.m.? For WH questions, add when. When do you wake up? Across all 4 of these variations, the main verb wake stays exactly the same. For this group of subjects, you only need to plug in the auxiliary word do to change the structure of the sentence. The grammar rules change slightly when we talk about a single third party, specifically when the subject is he, she, it, or any singular noun. Looking at this logic box, you can see the mandatory shift. While the plural subjects on the left use do and don't, the singular subjects on the right require the auxiliary verb to switch to does and doesn't. Here is a standard positive sentence for a singular subject. She plays cricket. To make this negative, a mechanical shift happens. We bring in do, but that extra s on the main verb travels over and attaches to do, turning it into does. We are left with, she does not play cricket. This brings us to the biggest rule to remember in the simple present tense. If the word does is anywhere in your sentence, the main action verb must always revert to its base form. You never put an s on the main verb if does is present. You can think of the word does as a magnet. It pulls the s away from the main verb, ensuring the s only appears once in the sentence structure. Remembering this prevents a very common grammatical error. Let's put this into practice by building the most complex pattern in this tense, the WH question. This blueprint maps the word order: WH word, auxiliary do or does, subject, and verb 1. Dropping in a real scenario, we select who, insert does, add father, and finish with drive. Who does father drive? We swap the WH word for what, and the blueprint stays exactly the same. What does father drive? Now it's your turn to practice this structural shift. In a moment, I want you to pause the video and try building these transformations yourself. Your target positive sentence is, he writes beautiful poems. Grab a piece of paper and write down the negative form, the interrogative form, and a WH question starting with what. Pause the video now. Here are the answers. He does not write beautiful poems. Does he write beautiful poems? And what does he write? If you placed your auxiliary word correctly and stripped the s from the base verb write, you've executed the transformation perfectly. Looking at a plural question next to a singular question, you can see the single structural difference. On the left, we have, what do the students read? On the right, what does the teacher teach? Whether you use do for a plural subject or does for a singular subject, both versions strictly obey the rule of using the unaltered base verb at the end of the sentence. This formula board contains everything we've covered today. It shows the algebraic style variables for the positive, negative, interrogative, and WH question patterns. You can use this as a reference guide, making sure to note the strict rule at the bottom. After do or does, always use verb 1. By internalizing these 4 specific formulas and understanding when to use the auxiliary word does, you have the structural framework needed to accurately describe any daily routine, habit, or universal truth in the English language.